Guys, this is Brad Jackson from Jackson Audio here with our good buddy Nigel Hendroff, who flew in all the way from Sydney to be with us here in Nashville, Tennessee. We are at Wynonna Judd's home studio, and she's very kind enough to let us use her studio space to introduce a new product we're super proud of. It's our new compressor, EQ, and boost pedal called the Bloom. We wanted to do a special video for you guys because Nigel's such a good friend of ours, and so many of our players that use our products are church players, and they have pretty extensive pedal boards. We want to get a primer from the man himself. First, on how you use compression, ways to use it, ways not to use it, how to use it appropriately, where to use it in your signal chain, how to stack it with other things. So, Nigel, if you would just give us a quick primer on how you use compression.
Yeah, like I've used compression for years. Mm-hmm. I discovered it on the original old Boss CS3 when I was trying to play like Paul Jackson Jr. and have that really super compressed sound and trying to figure out my jazz chops in the early days. So I've always used compression, and then I've always had it in my pedal boards since then.
Okay. Are you like an always-on compression guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it sits out of the loop. It sits right at the front of the chain.
Okay. So it's the very first thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the very first thing that my guitar signal sees.
Okay.
Besides the little input box there, it goes straight into that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, here,
so, yeah.
Let me hear what you got.
That's straight. That's straight.
Okay.
Just turn on. It's really bringing the rig to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the compression setting he has here is kind of a slower attack, so it's not super grabby like you would have on like a chicken picking country thing. It's more, we're calling this mode the R&B mode because it's just kind of slower. It has a good feel to it, but it doesn't just stand out like it would on a really fast attack setting. So yeah, the third mode here, you're in the
yeah. So the blend's down pretty low and the compression's up pretty high. I mean, it's quite.
When you hit it, you can see the compressor actually grabbing the note.
That's right, yeah.
By the LED changing.
But my playing is very dynamic. You know, I'm not like a real heavy-handed player, so I'll often play quite light. It's still working, but you're not actually seeing the LED.
So
I guess.
It's not like you're just like grabbing the notes and squashing it. You just want like an evening.
But there are times where I'll hit it hard.
Gotcha.
You can hear it grabbing, seeing it grabbing there.
So are you using it to like boost quiet parts, or to like just kind of pull everything down to a consistent level?
A bit of both.
Okay.
It'll work both ways. Okay. Yeah. So when I'm playing quietly, it brings it up.
Okay.
When I hit it hard, it just sort of ducks the level a little bit, and I like that. I've always liked that about compression and my playing. It's just my playing style. It works great for me. I'll often be picking with a pick and then using the fingers at the same time. So having an always-on compressor works great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is something that I've talked to guitar players. I've got buddies that play at church and friends of mine, and it's almost like a point of contention between players of, do you put your compressor pre or post overdrive? Where do you sit on that whole?
Oh, man, different people use it different ways. Hey, and the way I use it is definitely not Bible or anything, but it works. It works for me.
So where do you said you run it first? So
it's running first.
Okay.
So it pretty much. The way I've got it set here, actually we haven't talked about the EQ, but just very quickly, like I'll often have the, so I'll just have it probably set around there.
Okay. So that's pretty much my compressor setting that I'll leave always on. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So getting back to signal chain, have it up front, and the way it's set pretty much just pushes like a good signal throughout the whole rig.
Okay. So you use it to like boost the signal up and kind of make it bolder.
Yeah. Okay. So regardless of whether I'm playing quietly or hitting it loud, that'll always stay on, and that actually affects. Obviously how my drives are set.
Cool, let's hear that.
Okay, so if I was to just show you a drive pedal by itself, engage that one. So if I turn this off, we can turn the EQ off.
I got it.
Yeah. So there's a drive pedal. It's just this little
Q-Sack.
yeah. It's like the first stage, if you like, my drive. I don't feel the need to use too many dry pedals on my board because of compression. Really? And this is why. This is how you'll see. So if you turn it on now. So the drive is set pretty low on that, but yet I can get a good amount of like sustain and growl out of it.
Gotcha.
But it works for my style of playing because I can put a bit of.
Cool. Do you want to throw the EQ on with that?
Yeah, let's turn the EQ on.
Let's see what we can do with that. Sounds great.
Yeah, so I don't have to try to get all my sounds out of one drive.
Right.
I actually have the compressor like hitting it at the front end and actually pushing it, and driving breaking up the pedal. And that's, I love that.
Well, let's check one more thing. So you've got the Cusack Screamer on, we've got the compressor on, and the EQ on. Let's hear that, and we'll throw the boost on, throw it over the top into the solo stuff.
Yeah, great.
And I'll just run you wide open. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, Nigel. Thanks for joining us, man.
No worries.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.